in the present time, but Jesus has kind of embodied that. I tell you what it's like. Do you know the passage in John chapter 11 where Martha
Yes.
says to Jesus by Lazarus' grave, "Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died." Jesus says, "Your brother will rise again." Martha says, "I know he'll rise again at the resurrection on the
Yes.
last day." In other words, gee, thanks, it doesn't help
Yes.
me too much. And Jesus' response is, "I am the resurrection
Yeah.
and the life." In other words, Martha thinks of it as a future event. Jesus says it's a present personal reality. And so right from the start, the early Christians see the resurrection of Jesus himself as the launching of new creation. That is hugely important, and in my experience, very few Christians really tune into it. That new creation began when Jesus of Nazareth came out of the tomb on Easter morning. We are living in the space between the launching of new creation and the completion of new creation in God's ultimate future when God will be all in all. Paul describes this interval in 1 Corinthians 15. That's where we are. But therefore, we celebrate the first day of the week because that was the beginning of God's great new day. It's been launched. It's begun. We celebrate it. We live it out. That's how resurrection theology is supposed to work. The danger then is if Christians downgrade that into some version of what they then see as an older Jewish legalism. Oh, Sunday is the Sabbath, so you can't do this and you can't do that, you can't do... Now, I honour those who have kept Sunday special. I wish I could keep Sunday even more special than I do. I go to church.
Sure.
I'm very much aware all day that it is Sunday and the things that we do on Sundays. But if we turn that, as some Christian traditions have done, into a kind of a new law which we then police, and we make the day of actually a bit miserable, then that misses the point entirely. We ought to be celebrating the new day, the launch of God's new creation.